Hey guys, we are in for a bunch of ups and a bunch of downs. Period. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to pull my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. This is my review for Empire Season 3, Episode 10. Like I said, we're in for a bunch of ups and a bunch of downs. We started right off, that goddamn Cookie got the war started, literally. We come in, there's this whole concert going on. It has to do with this movement of Inferno, which is Lucius's new project. He has Remy Ma on stage, and she's doing some song and carrying on. It's a real big old production. The end of the production, that goddamn Cookie brings up that goddamn granny and onto the stage, and we found out right before that Cookie didn't know anything about what Lucius was planning on doing. She knew nothing about the whole Inferno thing. He just did it, and they're supposed to be co-CEOs, but he's just doing his own thing. So she's pissed, and he basically asked her, "Did you want to start a war? Either we can work together or you can start a war. You want to start a war? You make the first move." She went and got Granny just as good, brought Granny on stage, introduced her to the people, and you just hear people out there saying, "He's a liar. He said she was dead. This, that, thing, and then she walked on off. I said, that goddamn Cookie is a mess. She's a mess. So this is how we got started. Next thing we see, some shit that we were seeing before that we were sick of. That Xavier still fucking with Becky, doing little smart shit, then going to tell her, talking real shit to her. Lucius is my boss and I'm your boss, and don't you be speaking up no more in front of my bosses or you'll be fired, and all that old bullshit. I said, okay. And I just kept waiting, and I remember that before we left off for the wintertime break, Thirsty already told Becky, I'm going to take care of that motherfucker. Don't even worry about it. So I'm waiting, Thirsty. What you going to do? Andre keeps on weaseling his way through, getting Nessa, keeps pushing Nessa on top of Tiana to aggravate Hakeem. And it's every time there's something that's supposed to go on, and Tiana's supposed to be the spotlight, he finds a way to get Nessa in there. For this, there's a showcase that was coming up. He weaseled Nessa right in over top of Tiana. Of course, Hakeem was pissed. Next, we got the whole family end up going out to the rehab to see Jamal. They got up in there. Jamal seems to be doing really, really well. He actually has a good little friend, Tori Ash, which she harbors some bad feelings for Cookie. She ain't got Cookie to do. Cookie ain't got her to do. And she's a junkie. She's a recovering addict. Her and Jamal have made friends, and they've been in there working on some music. He kept telling them he needs to get out and start working on music. They're like, nah, you need to finish out the program. So they kind of had a couple words. Then before you do anything, Cookie and Lucius get to arguing. Going back and forth about Cookie giving them the pills and about Angelo, her picking Angelo over the family, picking Jamal's performance over Jamal's life. He was just playing dirty and really throwing stones. And then Cookie's like, you don't even know where he did to Angelo, this, that, thing, and the other. It was a mess. Definitely nothing that you'd be doing out of rehab. The woman that was running everything, running the visit, was looking at them like, all you motherfuckers are crazy. Every last one. Just messy as hell. Then we see Thirsty at a hot dog stand in the park, and there's this woman comes through. She gives him a napkin, and on the napkin it actually has Bam Bam. No, it has Frank Gathers written on the napkin. It all boiled down to a guy named Bam Bam, which was one of the guys that Lucius hooked up when they were in jail. Remember, to get rid of Frank Gathers. Um, so we got this whole Bam Bam situation. Thirsty's supposed to take care of it. Thirsty has Becky in the car. He also has Granny in the car. And he ends up going past and picking up Bam Bam's mom from her nursing home. So the two old ladies is kicking it in the back. And he got Becky. Becky's like, what are we doing? He's like, running errands, this, that, thing, and the other. They go find Bam Bam. Threatens Bam Bam because he didn't get out of jail. And Lucius told him, I took care of your mother and your daughter that had leukemia like I said I would. I did everything I could for your daughter. Your daughter passed away. And since then, I've continued to take care of your mother. And I've held up my end of the bargain. And you're going to hold up your end of the bargain. When you go, you're not going to testify against me. Or your ass going to end up floating, basically. So that was that. We seen where that plan folded. And plus, they were like, we can't fuck with this no more. They were actually telling Tariq, we can't fuck with this no more. This, everything you got, your star witness that fell out, the bottom fell out, and we done found out this is your brother. We're not fucking with you with this shit no more. This shit, we're done with this. So we seen that. Last thing, Granny got dropped off. We see Thirsty doing one last little drop to some radio station, like it was like a on the go on a bus, like a tour bus type of little thing. What the fuck is Thirsty doing? He goes back over. Becky's like, okay, well, what? You know, like, you done wasted my whole day. We'll say, just let the universe do what the universe does. Trust me, Becky. Everything that you're saying, I hear you. But no matter what anybody tells you, it's about his business. It's not personal. When there's business being done, trust me, it's always personal. Let the universe do what it's going to do, Becky. I got you. She like, all right, Thirsty. She just fussing her ass off, and they ride on off. Now hold on to that. We're going to get back to it. We see Andre talking with Shine, and he basically reminds Shine, Shine's like, with everything that's going on, ain't no way you're going to be able to snatch Empire from up underneath your dad. He done blew up all over again with this Inferno shit. It's blowing up. And he said, I never told you that I was going to take Empire from him. I told you I was going to kill him. And Shine is kind of looking at Andre like, But again, people don't really pay people any attention. They hear you, but they don't hear you. That's kind of what's going on. Next move we see is, because Lucius still got to get back at Cookie. Lucius goes and decides he's going to endorse the opponent of Angelo Dubois. And he's still egging at Angelo. I said, oh boy, here we go. So he goes with that. And he basically offers $300,000 for anyone that can come forward with information about Angelo and the drowning and all of that shit. So Cookie was all pissed off about that. Okay, so then the next thing after that, we have the concert. We get to the concert, the showcase, and Nessa's up there performing. Well, she's just performing her little tail off. And in the midst of it, they love to bring another person in and kill your mic in the middle of your song. Child, they come. Next thing you know, the lights flash over and switch over. Here comes Tiana and Hakeem, honey. They kind of take over the number. Then they're all on stage together doing a number. And the next thing you know, Nessa and Tiana get to fighting. I said, oh, God. I said, all right. So right then, I was like, Lee Daniels, no. We're not going to have these Tyler Perry moments. We're not going to do this all through this season. We're not going to do that. Because they literally got down off the stage and they had a whole motherfucking girl fight. Pulling hair out, rolling on the floor. Shine standing on stage saying, let them fight, let all ghetto and shit. Like they in the middle of the damn hood, up in the goddamn court. Let them fight. And they literally, people backed up and was letting them fight. They rolled around on the floor fighting until they got tired. In the midst of that, they got a call. Jamal done disappeared. Him and old girl done disappeared. So they thinking they out on the bench. They done ran all over town, and I ain't going through all them stops they made. They made stops everywhere where we've seen them in the past 2 seasons, jumping on folks, smacking folks around, looking for. They stopped at the little gay boyfriends studio. They stopped at the old raggedy ass goddamn joint with the guy that eats the cereal all the time, and that's where they were. But they were upstairs, so they go upstairs, and they're in the recorder. Thought they was in there throwing down. They have a couple words again. And he's like, I told you I'm not doing drugs. I'm just singing. I'm just doing what I got to do. I'm just singing. And that's that. That's that. So they go through that. Everything's cool. So then we got, let's go back to Thursday. Okay, so after they did all that they did, the next day or so, they have this meeting. They're in the meeting. First things first, Lucius just stands up and says, you know what? I won't have anybody double crossing me, this, that, thing, and the other. I won't have people leaking things to radio stations and things that shouldn't be, and all of this. Xavier, you're fired. So Becky's looking, and she's looking at Thirsty, and Thirsty's looking at her like, yeah, bitch, see, I told you. Thirsty set that shit up. He set him up. Got rid of his ass. So he got fired completely. And then Lucius starts saying, well, now that the seat for the head of A&R is open, I'm going to give it to this woman. And he's going on. He's telling about who this woman is. Everybody's looking at Becky, and everybody is satisfied and happy with it. And baby, when he says, it's going to be my lovely wife, honey, and that motherfucking Anika walked in that door, that motherfucking cookie, if looks could kill, half of that room would have dropped dead. You hear me? Again, they were just all back and forth, getting back at each other. I said, this is a mess. Anika come in there and sits down in the seat. Cookie got up and just walked on out. She walked on out. Becky, they ain't paying Becky, Lucy ain't paying Becky no attention. She feeling slighted again. Later on that evening, that goddamn Lucius is down there at Empire fucking with some songs and shit. Cookie came in there with a bat and did that whole Beyonce Lemonade situation and tore Empire the fuck up. His whole office. She tore his fucking office down. And then left out. He come back up out in the hallway. She tearing all that shit of glass everywhere. She's breaking all this glass. She got this bat. He went to walk up on her. She popped that motherfucker upside his head with that bat. What? Tore his ass up. Left his ass. It took him a minute to get himself together. She whacked the shit out of Lucius. So you gonna say that bitch is your muse? Really? She's your muse. 17 years. You built this shit on my back. And that bitch is your muse? She tried to knock the light skin off his motherfucking scalp. I said, oh my God. Tore his ass up. You can see he's all foggy and shit. Got himself together. He falling on around. Something just getting started. That bitch got on the elevator. Went on upstairs. Got up in that office. She tearing up toward his fucking grand piano all up. And then the next thing you know, he walk up on her. She say what she got to say. And they go to kissing. All that shit, Lucius lived for all that shit. She did all that. He got just as hot, baby. They up there kissing, and then she broke away from that motherfucker and told him, I said I was done with you. And I meant that. And marched on out of there. But the worker is, through all that, when she came, she had on, little outfit, cute little outfit whenever everything happened earlier in the day. When she come back to do all that hell she did, this bitch came back there with a goddamn silk taff and a motherfucking cocktail suit on. I said, who comes overdressed? That bitch was a scene straight out of Dynasty. Tearing up that motherfucking office. I said, she's a goddamn clown. And the people, they just look, with them two get to going at, the security's just looking. And he told them, go home. And they just going at it. Going at it. I said, Lord, this season's going to be a mess. That's where we actually left off at. One thing that I have to mention it. There was a scene, the whole scene where Cookie was running around looking for that damn Jamal. That stinking bitch had on a black onyx bracelet. It was a cuff with diamonds all on top. Bad motherfucker. Like the cuff took the whole scene. They was doing whatever they were doing. I'm sitting there looking at Cookie's wrist like, are you fucking kidding me? Again, she has some of the baddest shit that she puts on, but she just put too much of it on at one time. So sometimes she'll roll through and something will just catch my eye. That goddamn black onyx cuff was everything. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm glad they back with all they singing and they bullshit. And that's it. And I will see y'all next week. Peace.